Fam
Collectibles. Oh shit, they do have it. Oh no, this is good. Oh shit, this is the old one. Oh shit, dude, we should watch this. No,
You're new to this? Oh,
I don't watch
we're gonna do
Max.
this on the podcast.
You know why?
Obviously, don't.
Yeah, dude.
It
Oh
has
my.
everything DC. Everything.
Let's go.
Everything.
Look at this intro. God damn. You don't appreciate this stuff when we're recording, right?
Yeah.
Thank God.
Go
You
ahead.
don't appreciate.
Well, I set up our beers. So this one's comics, collectibles, and crafts.
Still Cafecitos.
Cafecitos.
Dude,
at
you
the
don't
moment, we're not doing
appreciate
Cafecitos.
this show as much as a child until you grow up. I mean, this opening sequence, I would argue, is iconic. Also, the drawing must have been so fucking easy considering it's all like silhouettes. Man. One of my close friends, acquaintances, he's obsessed with Batman, especially the animated. I mean, this guy's got a garage full of shit. That's Batman.
Joke.
So good.
Comics, collectibles, and
Cafecito /
weird looking
crafts.
cafecitos.
This
Beer
is-
facitos.
I should just put a logo right here of my company.
There you go. I'm Omega with Fanatically Correct, co-host of Comics, Collectibles, Cafecitos, with my co-host.
Anthony Ramirez, Fam Collectibles. Find us at ramfamcollectibles.com. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok. We're on all that bullshit.
Yeah, all that good.
I didn't realize the
bullshit.
first episode was Catwoman.
Like, share. The first episode? This is the very first episode?
This is the very first episode.
And they started with Catwoman. I didn't realize. I always thought. You know what happened? The very first episode I saw, and we've talked about this before, you and I, was the Clayface episode.
I love that one.
I don't know why I got into the late to the game.
Did you see
on
my
this one.
Clayface one?
That one came out awesome. So again,
I almost don't want to have that
so
one go away.
if you are, this should be dropping Friday. So as you're listening to this or watching this right now, that came out sick. Show it to the
So
camera.
good.
Show it to the camera. It'll come out. So if you're listening to this, watching
also
this
put it on
Friday, because Ranger Stop is
Ranger
Friday.
Stop is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
So as you're watching this or
72
listening to
hours
this,
straight, good stuff.
Anthony is actually set up Fam Collectibles at Ranger Stop in Orlando at the convention center, right? The Orlando.
It's
SeaWorld
SeaWorld
Convention Center?
Hyatt SeaWorld or something. I forget. What.
Yeah, he's there live with artwork like that, with all his Funko Pops and all his action figures, all his collectibles.
Yeah.
Come check him out.
And what's going to be rad too? I didn't tell anyone this. So it's going to be me, my wife, and one other guy, Evan. He's going to be helping us with stuff there too. He's got some comics and stuff.
Yeah, nice.
And I'm gonna have my wife. I got 100 cards, custom cards, $10 off of any of our
Nice.
custom Funko.
So there you go. If you're in the Orlando area
Just
and
gonna
you are
walk around.
attending
Random
Ranger
fucking
Stop,
people, dude.
get a hold of one of those cards.
Yeah, man. Random people.
Heck yeah.
Hopefully, drive people over to our double wide booth, 20x8. We got a big boy. All right. Well, this episode is not about that. This
No.
is really our.
We're gonna do
Our
so.
talk.
We're gonna start having some guests we have lined up. Again, Jingle Mingle Jamboree, Saturday, December 9th, at the Margate Sports Complex. Please check out our links and all of that at Fanatically Correct for the information.
And if you're a
Ram Fam will
vendor,
be there as well.
If you're a vendor and you're
Sign
looking to
up if you're
go
hearing
up,
this.
dude, this. I mean, this place. It's 40.
We should be
what is
not
it?
locked up yet, but it's 40,000 square feet.
Dude,
Big venue. We're gonna have
40,000
all types of different entertainment
Tons
things
of
going on.
kids.
So one of the guests we'll most likely have will be Eddie from Flynn's Arcade and More, who's it's Flynn's Arcade and More that's presenting that event, the Jingle Mingle Jamboree. We'll also most likely have from way back when, Joey.
Shout out to Joey way back when. His crew's awesome.
Antiques, which is located in the same plaza, the Ace Hardware
Dude,
plaza
you
in
can-
Margate.
I can take a toy from Eddie and throw it at at Eddie's front
So,
door. So close.
We're going to have them already locked down. We're just setting up dates and all that. We're going to have other guests aside from that.
other businesses, other
from
collectors,
other
everything.
collectors, all in the local South Florida area. I got comedian friends. We're going to have them on because they do a lot of
I'm
events with
stoked
us.
about comedian
That's going to be
people,
fun. Yeah.
We should
shout
have-
out to
we should make
Raul
that
of
one
Weird
a
Waters
beer one.
podcast. We do
Yeah,
stuff with
dude.
them at SuperCon and Sunrise Comic Con. So we're going to have guests, and we decided there's a couple of questions we're going to ask every guest.
Everybody.
Every guest who
Every
comes on,
fucking
we're going to
person.
ask them. So we're going to do it first, just the two of
And
us.
and there's no prep time.
No,
Or
no.
I'm asking them essentially live.
Yeah, we're gonna ask them live, and I mean, if they watch the show, obviously they'll have an idea after seeing this that they're gonna get these
That's how you
questions.
know if they watch or
Yeah,
not.
that's how we know they want because they're like,
I've never
that's
seen
a
that.
good question.
You've
Like,
been
well,
doing it with
thanks
every
for the
fucking guest
support.
so far, fucker.
Thanks for the fucking support. So yeah, we have 3 questions. One is like a double. It's actually 2. So, but one is like a double. That we're gonna ask every guest that is a thinker, but it's in the realm of collectibles and comics and just the nerd verse of the things that we like over at Fam Collectibles and Fanatically Correct. And so, first question. I don't want to do the 2-parter first. I want to do the collectibles one first.
Hit it.
Okay, so that's
hit it and quit it, baby. Don't call it the next day.
So we're gonna ask each other. We're basically get this question where we're both gonna answer. About a month ago when we started this, the Mega Millions, was it? Powerball was over $1 billion.
No,
they both
whatever
have.
It was.
They both each of
They
them
were
has gone like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Have both gone over $1 billion this year in 2023. So
and one was sold in I think one in Jacksonville. Right?
3 of them was an individual winner.
Fuck.
3 of them was one ticket won. One person who owned that ticket just became an instant billionaire, barely after taxes. If you do the lump sum.
He or she definitely took a shit on their boss's desk.
Oh, for sure,
No doubt about
for
it.
sure. So
Like just a
someone left their
heavy-
spouse. Someone like, oh yeah, this ended terribly. It's a curse
Yeah.
more than it is a gift.
I would get a sorry for your loss card.
Well, it's funny
It's
because
me.
what brings
I'm
to me,
leaving.
and I'm going to use it as the example, but then we're both going to go back and forth in it. So a meme at the time that was interesting, and I'm like, damn, that's probably one of the things I would do. Is now we're going to ask all our guests on the nerd verse. We automatically assume you're a good person. If you win $1 billion,
Yeah, man, buy your mom the fucking house.
yeah, we already know you're
Get
gonna buy
a
your
nice-
parents a house. You're
pay
gonna
the
give money to
tax.
charity.
Okay, whatever. I don't
we
give a
know
shit
you're gonna
about
do
that.
things
Yeah.
for the charity. We assume you're a good person. You're gonna do
Yeah,
that.
I don't care about the cocaine and strippers.
Outside
and
of that,
hookers
in
either.
the realm of collectibles, in the realm of the nerdverse and being a nerd and a fan and a geek and all of that, what is the craziest, wildest shit? Because you're a billionaire.
Yeah.
So you can easily drop $100 million on something. I mean,
Yeah.
bat an eye.
Yeah.
What is the wildest thing that you gotta have, whether it's already made or you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
have it made or whatever, and realistic, you know what I mean? But to an extent, and again, realistic.
Yeah, I don't want to hear like a space house.
Yeah. Well, and that's the example I gave. The meme was, I won't tell anybody I won the jackpot, but there'll be obvious signs.
Yeah,
and the meme
yeah.
is the guy's driving a Batmobile.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
But
yeah,
it's a legit Batmobile. Like, not it doesn't do all the things the Batmobile does.
Right.
No, but it's like the one from Dark Knight. It has an engine, has wheels. You could drive that around. Would it punch through walls and shoot a harpoon and all that?
Yeah,
And then-
will it
but-
transform into a motorcycle?
But
Likely
you can,
not.
You
but,
can drive around a fucking Batmobile and look
okay,
like a Batmobile.
So that's the first question.
So now you're using a Batmobile
What
because
would
it's
you
been
do
done.
with that
What are you gonna use?
So
What
do you want to
buying?
answer first or should I answer first?
If you got one on the
I
deck,
got-
I have like
it's in the
5.
chamber,
yeah,
baby.
I want you to get the
Okay.
first one out. Let's go.
So
So Fan
here's-
Collectibles. What's the collectible? What's the crazy shit?
Okay, the crazy shit I'll buy.
You buy
want to hear this?
first.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle underground sewer layer, like an actual. Okay, dude, I'm all about
like your
bunkers.
man cave.
Like, almost literally.
Shit, we're gonna have a similar one,
So let's say,
but not Ninja Turtle.
So
but
let's say I have my house, and I don't know, maybe inside my house or branched off my house, there'll be somewhat like a sewer. You know,
Yeah.
you lift up the
hold
thing.
on, because he said that. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay, so you lift up the sewer and you fucking climb downstairs, and underground, in the ground, is my Ninja Turtle lair.
I obviously like where this is going.
I'll have, so for those of you who don't know, I've been doing martial arts since I was 10 years old. Sparring, grappling, whatever you name
So
it.
you're
I
gonna
love
have
that
you're gonna have a
stuff.
sewer dojo. Like
So I'm
they
gonna
got.
have a dojo down there where we can train. I'm gonna have my fucking
A foot soldier
my,
dummy.
my resting area. So I
foot
can
soldier
do,
dummy, some
yeah,
fucking
sure.
mousers.
Yeah, dude.
So it's not what. So you're not going one particular item. You're going a whole fucking.
The whole
room. Yeah.
fucking thing. So I want
Yeah.
my training area. I want the cool and relaxed place. I want a fucking pizza oven so I can make
Yeah.
pizza there. I'm hitting the dough. I'm flipping my shit, eating my pizza. I got my TV, my shitty cat. Like the
Yeah.
whole thing, and it's all
That's
underground.
your man cave. That's your
underground.
man cave. So you have to move because that's
So-
obviously not happening in Florida.
That's
our
not happening
swamp
here.
land.
I'm gonna go to fucking nowhere. and
Yeah,
have
you have to
chickens.
go nowhere land.
So, but the second part to that is on the outside, on the surface level, I'm gonna have the turtle van, the pizza turtle. I'm gonna have
Having
that
me,
fucking-
a custom
Dude,
paint
why
job,
the
yeah.
fuck- Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
I could buy a
I mean,
Volkswagen and basically
there's
make
things
it.
you can easily do. Like you get the van, and there's things that you. I'm obviously not gonna have guns and turrets shit like that. Even though
give a shit
that'd be
about
great
that.
in the apocalypse.
And they didn't have
but
that,
you
though,
can have it
anyway.
where the door opens with the chair.
You got
You know what I
it,
mean?
buddy.
That's all shit that
Easy.
easily.
They do that
make
in
done.
hunting.
Yeah, exactly.
all,
yeah.
all the time. It just
Yeah,
it just
there's
comes
a lot.
out.
You can go crazy with that. So
Yeah,
you'd have
dude.
the turtle van. You're going on into
Yeah.
turtle. Well,
have to. I mean,
I'll go specific on an item, but because like the Batmobile, dude, my man cave, Bat cave.
nice.
And same thing, like, because there are places like in Colorado.
Are you gonna
things
do
like
it in a mountain or underground?
that. I would think in a mountain.
I think Batman,
Like
depending
he
on
is
where you
underground.
watch-
His cave,
some
it's
of
a
them
cave
are like-
system, so
yeah.
it starts outside. That's where the Batmobile
Yes.
comes out of,
Yep.
like ground level.
because you see the waterfall,
Exactly.
and he just shoots out.
Exactly, but the parts of it are underground, you know.
Correct.
So I don't know. It can be done. Man, a billionaire, dude, fucking $100 million. That's gonna be to fucking buy a piece of a mountain somewhere.
And the best
Have
part
a-
is
have a mining system.
when you hire the company. So, like when you see construction around even South
This is
Florida,
you're gonna go for real. Like you're gonna be a fucking
uh,
vigilante and
so-
shit.
No. What I'm saying is, when,
This is
when
where
you,
you're gonna kill them on the way out.
No, not like that. My point is, I'm
No,
not.
not the Ninja Turtles. They're like, you're just a fucking nerd.
I'm not
But the
a-
guy who's going all Batman, they're like, this guy's got a lot of money, and
Oh, no,
Batman
this
is a
dude's-
rich
yeah.
vigilante. Like, dude, the only way
no.
nobody knows about these layers if he caps us.
What I would rather have is if I hire the company, I'd be like, hey, I'll pay double because money's no object at that point. I'll pay double, but I want someone always in here working. So there's no like, oh yeah, we work from 9 to 5. No, yeah, your first shift, you hire whoever the fuck you want. I'll double the money, but around the clock just to get it done.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
It's not a 2-year
Hey, it's gonna be a
project,
2. Yeah, I don't want that. I want this shit done
Got
in
money.
6
So buy
months.
a company. Like, you have no other job other than this project right now.
How much did you make last year? Oh, you did
Yeah.
2.4 million. Great. Here's $5 million. You now have one person. You're working on my shit for the next year.
Easiest way to go with the Bat Cave one, because you get like a sewer system, so that's got to be a little more specific. You know, you could do it with a caving situation too, underground. If they
Dude, they make bunkers.
That's what I'm saying. Is buy
bunker.
one already made, which people do all the time, especially people with money. They'll just buy something and demo it. Like, I just want the land. You know what I mean? I just want like a hair in this hat or something. But they're like they'll just demo a brand new house. $2 million house, demo it so they can put a $20 million house on.
Right.
It. So same concept. I would just buy. They already have it. I would. If I had that kind of money, would just buy one of these cave houses, Airbnb, beautiful ones, whatever. Buy it, gut it, because it's already got infrastructure and it's already got wiring. It's already gut it, and then have a company like, all right, break out the plans.
Here you go.
I want this to be man cave, bat cave.
Yep.
And what I do love it is like make it like The Office. So in other words, turn the whole thing into man cave, bat cave, to podcast, to have your collectibles, to have your movies and shit, and then have your house close by. Like, not even have it directly
No, it's not going to be next to it.
attached to the house. I mean, unless I could do some really cool Batman shit tunnel or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
I could
yeah.
get, like elevator, because it was the one where he like elevated all the way from fucking Wayne Manor and ended up in like get the shit. Like, I mean, he had it when he was the garage
he
in
was
the
rich.
movie in The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. He's rich. So, and again, I don't need guns. I don't need a computer that can actually hack satellites or whatever. My fake computer is the TV. Like, that's the fucking projection screen for the.
It's going to have like
for the movies.
Pornhub
Yeah,
and weird Google searches. I mean, what else do you need?
dude, get that the giant coin. The flip coin of fucking Two-Face.
Yeah.
And the T-Rex, the fake T-Rex. Dude, I'm just fucking like,
you can
go
have
to town,
a
man.
long hallway between
And
your
that
house
and that
your
Bat Cave.
cave.
Because I could tell you very, very affordably, you can make like the original 1960s TV show, Bat Cave, and that Batmobile.
You can make this one.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. This one, the one with the Two-Face coin.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. This Bat Cave, the animated series Bat
best.
Cave, not the one that was in the Flash.
okay,
the
No.
the Tim Burton one.
Yeah, I don't need
not
one.
the Dark Knight one with the Tumblr. Not that.
Michael Keaton is
The
one.
Michael Keaton, yeah, the Michael Keaton one, which Tim Burton's the one who directed and all of that.
Oh.
Yeah, that was
Excuse
I went to direct
You said Flash.
because they showed it.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, but yeah, it's
I
Michael Keaton
understand
was
what
in the
you're
Flash.
saying now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Other words, yeah, the Michael Keaton Batman. Not that Batcave,
Right.
not the Dark Knight Christian Bale Batcave, not the Ben Affleck Batcave. No. Batman the animated series Batcave.
Okay, so I'm going
very
with Turtle
cartoony.
Lair. You're going with
Batcave.
Batcave. So that's the first question:
Yeah.
is what would you do?
And I'll do one more
that?
part to that one single item. Because we both went crazy, creative, build it ourselves. What is like the single item that already exists? Like, I'm just giving an example. Spider-Man #1.
Okay,
Like, what's the thing? Like, okay, collectible. I just want that on my
okay,
shelf.
an actual realistic.
A realistic thing that
exists now.
costs at least $50,000 to $1 million. I think Spider-Man sold for $1.5 million or something like that recently.
I would
something
have
like
to
that.
go with some sort of original TMNT comic book that's graded as like a 9.95 or 10 gem.
That would be
something where like Kevin Eastman. You know, even if I can't find it, but I would love something with Kevin, and I own something with it, but I would love something with Kevin and Peter's signature on it. I don't care who else, but those two on some sort of like an old, hey, this is an old prototype drawing, something that like is, if it's not one of one, it's
cool.
pretty damn near one of one, and it will likely always be one of one.
That is cool.
I like shit that like no one else has.
See, I would like to hunt down. I'm sure it is. And this is coming to my head right now. You asked me a week from now to change. That's the good thing. When we do this with guests and stuff like that, we'll have new things to add.
New ideas.
Come
Like,
up
fuck
with.
the Turtle Lair. I want this.
Exactly. But it's coming to my head right now because you said that. Something what you just said, I like that, of having something other people don't have.
Yeah.
Is on shorts out there, and I'd love to hunt it. is some type of and this is where I make it hard, and I'm positive it exists because they have it out there and it's probably expensive as shit. But some type of doodle or something Stanley did when he was young.
Ooh.
Signed.
Like
A
kid
napkin,
young,
a fucking
or
notepad, or no, not even a comic, like something like a doodle, like a sketch pad when him was in the
like one of the
meeting.
first Spider-Mans.
Yeah, one of his like bad version of something before another artist like made with like the Fantastic Four or whatever, like one of those, or even one of the ones before Marvel before he took over.
Yeah.
When he was drawing for them and
Yeah.
and writing for them, well, just something like that from when he was a young man, still not Stan Lee,
Right.
that he signed just as an ember, like this is what this guy eventually became.
Yeah.
Stan Lee, and this is like where he started.
This is where he started.
Doodle,
That'd be pretty, dude. Those
and
exist.
that's
100%.
gotta, of course, and it's got to be expensive as shit. Because whoever has it ain't letting it go.
No. Yeah.
Oh, that's
I mean, there'll be a price for everything, dude. If I listen, I'll tell you, when people like have these fictitious bets, like, hey man, for $1 million, would you do X, Y? No, I'll never. There's no amount of money, dude. There's an amount of money. If I walked into a room with duffel bags of cash, and I was like, hey man, I just want you to run across the street naked. Yeah, that's my thing.
So you're gonna be that guy.
Here's
Here's a
$500,000 in fucking cash.
It's
in
Thunderdome.
Hundreds.
So that's what you want the sword layer for. You're gonna have a Thunderdome. Like,
oh, there's gonna be a lot of fighting in there. It's gonna be awesome, dude. A lot of training.
it's like, oh, you want your college paid for?
It was
Earn it.
it was a meme, but it was like an interview that someone did with Oprah, and they were like Oprah's secrets to a stress-free life. And like someone
I saw that clip.
edited over it and was like, step 1, have $1 billion. And like that was it. I was like, yeah, dude, with money you can do almost literally anything. Elon Musk bought for $40+ billion.
Sadly, I have to
Twitter.
reference Ben Affleck and Boiler Room. I'm a big movie buff, and if you watch Fanatically Correct, this is the type of stuff we always talk about in dialogue drops like that. In Boiler Room, there's a scene where he's like doing his Alec Baldwin from Glengarry Glen Ross, where he's going and just like riling the horses and insulting them, like, what kind of fucking suit is that piece of shit suit? Go buy a real fucking suit. Like,
Just watch
one of those scenes, and he's like, he goes, don't like the life I lead. Fuck you, mom and dad. He goes, people who say money can't buy happiness don't fucking have any. And it's kind of the concept like, listen, it can't buy you all happiness, but it can definitely buy you stress-free life. There's no bullshit. If you're an asshole with your money, you can make it more stressful. Yeah. You know, if you get into bad habits or do the wrong things. But if you keep your desires and, you know, others don't get a fucking Ninja Turtle sword and don't get a back cave. Right. If you keep your desires very minimal, it can definitely, and stress-free is happiness. Yeah. You know, having a lot less stress is definitely happiness.
One of my best friends, Mike, he would tell me, he's like, when I'm rich, I'll have jet skis, just a ton of jet skis. And I was like, why would
he
have
Morbius from Loki?
Yeah. He'd just be like, I'd have a ton of jet skis. I was like, why? I was like, have you ever seen a sad or depressed person on a jet ski? It's like, no. I was like, no, they're always fucking super stoked. They're like revving it to 60 plus, like just zooming across. He's like, you never see a sad person on a jet ski, but like, who can afford jet skis?
That's true.
Generally wealthier people, right?
Yeah, because just the maintenance alone. Well, boats on being South Florida. Dude. We all know, everyone says it. The happiest days of boating is the day you buy it and the day you sell it. Like, because it's high gas costs an arm and a leg. It's everything.
I'll tell you right now, and one of my old bosses said this. We were on a trip in Michigan on one of the lakes, and he was pulling the boat in to get fuel, and I asked him, and I was like, how much is gas? He goes, I don't know. I was like, don't you own this boat? He goes, yeah. But people that buy boats don't usually worry about the cost of gas. Yeah. Because you need to have so much money.
Yeah, it don't matter.
To buy. Like, it doesn't matter. Just fucking, put whatever. Like, me and my wife and our family, we are not wealthy by any means. We're definitely a middle class, maybe a little bit more. I don't give a shit about whatever. If gas is $2.99 or
you got to get it. Yeah, you got to do it.
It doesn't fucking matter. Yeah, dude. I'm not negotiating. I can't do anything. Fucking do it.
If you're in the level where you need a car to sustain yourself, you're gonna fill the tank.
You have to, dude.
And it's the same. It's the same thing with boat. It's unfortunately, I mean, not unfortunately, because that's a luxury. I don't need a. I mean, unless you're a fisherman in Boston or whatever, and they got to work because that cuts into their profits and their livelihood.
Lobster hunting.
If you're luxury boating, like, you don't care about gas prices because you're filling the tank. You're dropping $1,000 or whatever on gas, regardless. It is what it is. But so I definitely wouldn't have a bad boat. That's definitely.
I don't need a boat. I get seasick. My wife doesn't like water either. You can't tell what the fuck's under there. I feel like we talked about this before, but you don't know what the fuck is underwater. Like, there's a whole nother universe underwater that I'm not getting fucking involved in. There's shit up on land that scares the shit out of me. I don't want to go into somewhere where I have to hold my breath. Or
I like the turtle van, man. That's beautiful.
Sweet baller.
Sorry. Side note.
Okay, so that's the first one.
So
what would you do
second
with your
part of the
billions?
question. So this is it's so 2 questions because it's the same question but in 2 different manners. So and actually so it's 4 questions because we did it with the first one too. Now we have the what's the crazy thing you would make or have created that doesn't really readily exist, and what's the one thing that you would buy
That exists,
that or at least something like it exists that you would just outright buy it. So now this question is comics, collectibles, and cafecitos, or occasionally beer, crafts, or cocktails, or whatever it is we're doing, cigars. We'll see. Who would you sit down? Yeah, no, he doesn't have a smoke alarm.
No, he doesn't have one in it. But he's got a lot of cameras, so he'll fucking get mad.
No smoking allowed. Vape cigars. But who would you? And again, just like in the first question, I don't want to hear Abraham Lincoln or a Gandhi or whatever. Yeah. We already know that if you had the ability, alive or dead, to have a sit down chat over a cafecito or a beer or whatever, someone great. But in the nerd realm, in the realm of fanship and in comics and nerdism and all that, if you could have, and the first part is fictional, or we'll go non-fictional first, and then fictional. So first one's a non-fictional, real person who alive or dead.
Non-fictional means real.
Yeah,
for those of you
real,
that are not.
So alive or dead, a person huge in the world of comic books and video games and TV shows and movies and animation, all that, just to sit down, share a coffee with, and get a couple questions and just chit chat, not filmed for a podcast, not just an actual intimate moment.
Let's go to breakfast
with a hero of some kind. Who would it be?
Okay.
And on the spot, that's also not easy.
No, it's tough. But I had time to think about it. So I would go with Peter and Kevin. So Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman.
Again, right back to question 1. I like it. I like
Turtles.
Consistent.
But it's less to gush over like,
yeah,
oh my God, I love what you do with the Turtles. It was so, no, I don't give a shit about that. I think it's really interesting to see how they went from this boilerplate idea of these 4 turtles and a rat into comics, into this huge story, into space. So I think it would be more like the business aspect. Like, how did you take
what did you smoke?
This sheet of paper? How did you take this sheet of paper with some drawings on it and like really make it this big thing? Like, because there was I ran into someone that met them like 30 years ago before Turtles were really a big thing, and Peter and Kevin were at some very small local event signing shit for like $5-10, and they would like sign, here's my illustration, here you go, and they would like almost give it away. And the guy was like, dude, if I knew what the fuck that would become in 30 years, I would have bought the whole fucking table.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to see like they are at a local event like you and I, and now 30 years later you see Teenage Mutant, you hear that and you register like years of, these stories and like toys and comics and TVs and movies and, merchandise. Like, it's crazy. I would want to talk to them about less fanboy stuff and more of like, how did you like manage it? I know those two had a very big difference of opinions with how they do it, whether it's financially or the stories or whatever. So it would be interesting to get both of their perspectives, because there's not a lot of people like Todd McFarlane is one guy. Yeah. He took it a very specific direction, but they're co-creators and they wanted to go 2 very different directions. So it would be interesting to hear both perspectives, both opinions, and then literally how they did it. Like, oh, hey, step 1 is call your publishers and then sell, at local events, and then do this. And then that's the part that I would really want to talk to them about, because not a lot of people create things in pairs, number 1. And not a lot of people have the impact like Turtles did. Yeah. I mean, Turtles spawned
from
space rats,
from our childhood,
street shark,
from our childhood
so
on.
Shit.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, it's grown in films and shows and animation, just the whole concept of a universe. Which like is big, like a Tolkien. You know what I mean? Like naming big guys, George Lucas or Star Wars. Like, you created a universe that from there, so many things have been able to spring from and inspire other stories and other content and things like that. I like you going first, so maybe because I had nothing going into this. I wanted it to be organic, and I wanted to because I like being able to change. You know what I mean? Like, if you ask me what's my favorite movie today, it's not gonna be the favorite movie tomorrow. Well, good, because we're gonna wrap up after we both answer these questions, and we'll kill it up. But I like something in the background. It's still the same Catwoman. I didn't realize.
No, it's part 2. It was part 1, part 2.
But I didn't realize the red claw thing or whatever. Maybe this is a season 2.
No, it was episode 1. This is episode 2, part 2.
So. Mine would be, and that angle, believe it or not, is Gene Roddenberry which is the creator of Star Trek.
Oh, cool.
And the reason for that is, well, number one, he did a lot of things, especially at the time. It was a very different concept, which George Lucas borrowed from a lot of people, where it's almost like a space western was the mentality, but very cerebral. He had to change things because that was what was told to him, that the show felt way too cerebral, and Lucille Ball and Designated actually ended up, saving Star Trek and it becoming a thing and all that. But really is this, that he was so spot on his level of creativity. If you watch the first, and for any Star Trek fans, if you watch the first, the original series, Next Generation, which is completely inspired, on his writing and creation, he pushed when Star Trek takes place to like 2400, the year 2400, whatever. But so many of the things that he brought into that show, right here, 80% of what's in Star Trek is right on the phone.
Yeah.
And he had to date it hundreds of years in the future because he was like, no one's going to believe this. And everyone leans back and like Back to the Future, where's my hoverboards, where's my flying cars? Or because they're like, in 10 years from now, we're going to have this. Like, get out of here. It's like,
I think
in 15 years, we're going to have this.
Past
all those.
The
all
years
those. All those of when it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And we're past, and we don't have that technology, but touch screens, automatic open
communication.
Right here alone, this is like a tricorder, a communicator, a computer, a touchscring computer,
knowledge,
Alexa, an assistant computer. Computer, tell me this. Computer, tell
AI.
me that. AI,
knocking on the door. AI with that.
No, but I'm saying all of that, and he dated it hundreds of years in the future. But if you take away pretty much warp drive and a replicator, which, in my opinion, I have this argument with people all the time, 3D printing is getting into the grounds of replicator. They're already printing food. They're printing meat, sustainable substances. Granted, it's not what a replicator specifically does, but it's still the same concept.
Yeah.
And a lot of our space travel with SpaceX and things like that is moving towards that. Quantum is crazy because some of the speed of light or whatever, but it's fiction till it isn't, And outside of that, so many of the little things is like, this guy just either had friends in departments of NASA and inventors that I'm right around the corner building. He's like, well, I'm going to put it in my show. I'm just going to make it more. Because so much of it happened. So it's it would be nice to have a coffee. He's like, what inspired? Is this stuff that just came to you? Yeah. You just have an open mind.
Were you on Molly?
Where you were
mushrooms?
Would you imagine that? Your guys and Gene Roddenberry together, they go, oh, you mean Muse? And it's like you do a mirror with cocaine on it? Just that.
This is what inspires me.
Everything. It's channeled to the future. It's terrible. Don't do drugs, kids. Say no.
Unless it's prescribed.
Exactly. That's different. That's not drug. We're not getting into that. But yeah, is that concept is besides all the story writing and all that, he did a lot of great decision making when it came to actors and William Shatner and Aurora and having the first interracial kiss and things like that he stood by, and just all of that is fantastic. But just mainly that is and that's a lot of things what inspired these things, who's the round table of people that came up with this should be in the future, and it was all very practical, realistic stuff, so realistic that 20-30 years later we got it all right, not 100%, but a lot of the bigs and all the little minor details, so much more spot on than we normally get. And then you have even Marvel does it. We're at a point where they have to go so crazy now. When they talk about, we're just going to have this full-on teleportation. That's the other one.
I'm Tony Stark. Boop, boop. Nanotechnology.
And
I got my suit.
Yeah, it has to go so far-fetched. And they're doing it. This is 2025. You know what I mean? Tony Stark's and it's 5 years from come on, man. You know what I mean? It's they got to go unrealistic, but they're doing it in a closer time period. Yeah. And this guy went super spot on and pushed it further back. It's no one's going to believe this. And it's just wild. So, that would be my non-fictional, my real world person. He just happens to be passed away. Your guys are actually alive, so that can actually, right?
I mean, I've seen some photos of Peter. Super respectful, sir. They're getting old. I saw Kevin a couple months ago. Dude, he looks solid. He's definitely older.
Cafecito, man.
Yeah, just a little
dream could come true.
I'd buy them whatever they wanted for breakfast.
So to wrap up the show, the last one we'll do before we close it out is then fictional. Okay, I think you have a trend going. I have a feeling.
Okay. This is sound crazy. All right, so fictional, for you children that don't understand what fictional means, fictional is fake.
Fake character. Fantasy.
What fake character would I want to meet and have a cafecito with? I would want to meet, I know what my brain is telling me, but I really want to think this through. Honestly, I think I would want to meet Shredder.
I knew it was going to be Ninja Turtle related. You're on theme, man. You're on brand.
I don't want to go. Yeah, I'm consistent. I don't know if I want to meet Splinter. I feel like he'd be too
That'd be like meeting
wise,
Gandhi,
respectful.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah,
can't
you want
shoot
people to
this
laugh.
shit. But I
You
feel like
enjoy a beer,
Shredder.
cafecito.
Yeah, I feel like Shredder. I'd be like, yo, dude, let's fucking deal with them.
But he's evil.
Can't you just go to a different city and just conquer there? Like they're not gonna follow. They live in a
No.
fucking sooner.
I must kill the turtle.
Yeah. But from a very important,
I need more sugar.
From a very important standpoint, I think it would be really cool to train with him because him as a character, maybe not so much in the cartoon, the 80s.
Yeah, but as a martial artist.
It wasn't so showcased there.
Yeah.
But it's really showcased in the cartoons. I'm sorry, the comics, not the cartoons, of him being a true martial artist.
And in the Batman crossover movie.
Yes,
with
then
the
too.
Turtles.
So as an American Kempo black belt myself, training
That would be dope.
20-something years. Like,
So you
dude,
want a cafecito. You'd want to...
I mean, I just want to talk to him about
session.
principles, what's his thoughts. Because like in martial arts in general, and it's really dependent on your martial art, there's a lot of different concepts and principles. So like what I might think, so backup mass is like when I throw a punch, it's I'm torquing at the shoulder, I'm torquing at the hip, I'm going into a forward
Using
bow.
full kinetic energy.
So my full body, it's all one backup mass. All right. But in other martial arts,
like kung fu, momentum build.
they might think of it a different. They might move away. So like one part of my body is going away.
Yeah,
like
kung fu has bursting.
boxing. I've done very little boxing, but my understanding
That's
is
all hips.
boxing. It's not a lot this shoulder going forward as much as it is this shoulder going back.
It's just like remember Kempo is based off American boxing mixed with karate.
So it's hips.
It's hips. It's all on the hips, all on the legs.
So everything's
it's built
different.
it up.
I guess is really the point.
That's
So
why
it'd
you watch
be really
classic boxing.
interesting.
But there
especially
is
him
like
being
kung fu is
Japanese.
momentum. That's why speed is the murder.
And then you look
a lot
at
of momentum building.
capoeira, even jujitsu. It
That's also
leverages your
momentum
body. Judo, American Kempo, Chinese.
Yeah,
I mean,
fighting
everything,
close, fighting
dude.
distant. So yeah, I mean,
Krav Maga, everything. It all
for
has
vitals
different-
rapidly. That's
Yeah.
me. Shredder.
But it'll be interesting
Show
because
no mercy.
if you read the comics, I mean, that was he killed Splinter's master for whatever reason.
Well,
but it'll be interesting to just speak to
ninja
him.
versus samurai. Even though he's supposed to be ninja too, they're all ninjutsu, but it's really ninja versus samurai. Honor, no honor. You know what I mean? That's the whole concept. Take them out, kill them. Or which side note, the trailer for Shogun, the series that's gonna be on FX, looks fantastic.
I have to watch that.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick.
Send it to me.
Check it
Remind
out.
me later. But that's my answer.
I like that.
Sure.
I would go with just to have a good time and laugh my ass off. I'm going with Deadpool.
That's a good one.
Just Deadpool, just a joke, laugh, just what comes to his mind. And it's funny because okay, Ryan Reynolds obviously is spot on. Deadpool brought to life, whatever. But because he gravitated towards a character, and that's what I'm saying, like specifically Deadpool from the comic books, the concept, and just the whole knowing, you know what I mean, that you exist, like just that already plays into it. Like you would know. It's like, oh, now I'm in the real world. You know what I mean? Like he would just just for again at the moment, when we talk about this again with guests, it'll change. But yeah, I would just go Deadpool, just something funny.
I like
hang out, just some good jokes.
You want to shoot my gun?
Want
to
That's
see
a
me
sad. The
slice
same
a
question
bullet
for a
with a
5-year-old that he
similar-
would for like an 8-year-old. Hey, you want to shoot this?
You want to shoot me in the head? It's totally okay, dude. Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, dude. You can fuck around. Be like, I can really do
Let's
that.
try different ways we could try to kill you.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
That'd be pretty cool.
That takes me back to my Grand Theft Auto playing.
Yikes. Therapy.
Yeah, I think Deadpool's already ungiven.
Dude, you need to talk to
You're all
someone.
like, oh,
They
like
do great work
style.
these
And I'm
days.
like,
You can do it online on your phone.
I know they
it's
match you
amazing.
to your therapist. That's a good thing.
Think about
Be
it.
aware of your answers. But yeah, so these are questions we'll be asking all the guests when we have them here on Comic Collectibles. Cafecito,
So watch this episode,
Crack
guest,
Feel.
future guest. Good luck.
Yes, because if you watch this, that means you'll be better prepared to answer these questions and not just more time for the AI to edit.
Yeah.
Out like you go first. But usually, like I was able to just come up with quick, like feeding off of you. So that's the good thing. We can help along the way.
Yeah.
But thank you for watching. Thank you for joining again. If you're watching this right now, if you're in the Orlando area, Ranger Stop. Anthony will be
Ranger
there
Stop
with all his
Orlando.
good stuff at Fam Collectibles. He'll have his tent set up, and it's
No, it's indoors. Ain't no
Ranger Stop
tent, baby.
Yeah.
It's indoors.
Oh yeah, sorry. In your
It's,
spot, you got a full end cap, right? So you got like what a 10 by a 20
no,
by 20,
It's a 20 by 8.
20
It's
by
gonna be a
8.
big boy.
That's a big boy.
I
Nice
was
big
in
spot.
bed contemplating like the layout. Like I went to
because
bed.
you like
and I was
everyone to walk in.
how do I do this?
Because you like everyone to walk in, so you can
I got it.
engage.
I think I got it. It's gonna be really rad.
Do your shop style.
So I'm gonna do less big shows, but the big shows, I'll have end caps or
big,
bigger
good
spots.
stuff.
So I just
Yeah, and
invest in
it
it.
has every power, like not every, but like a lot of the Power Rangers are going to be there from all the
Dude,
past
it's like
shows, new shows.
35, 40 of them. Dude, it's a
Yeah, no, it's fair.
lot.
It's a great. My co-host on Fanatically Correct, the Yopis, him and his family go over here, so they'll probably
really?
come by
Oh,
visit.
rad,
you.
dude.
Tell them to say
Tell 'em-
hi.
tell 'em to come over,
Because
dude.
my nephew's a big time Power Ranger fan.
Are you gonna you were gonna be in Orlando,
I
right?
was,
you're
but I'm not
gonna
going to be
do-
that
right,
weekend.
that's what I
So
thought.
unfortunately, and I've never been to one. So eventually, I want to go.
I'll be honest with you.
I'll go with you next year.
Rumor
Yeah.
is that this is gonna be the last one in Orlando.
Really?
I'm gonna go talk.
They
to
always
them.
do one in Orlando, one in Atlanta.
One in
They do one
Orlando.
each. They
Listen,
might
I'll tell you
just
right
stick to
now.
the Atlanta one.
If
I'd be surprised if they do well in Orlando.
if I can do,
from what I've heard.
so what I think is happening is it's technically the last one under Ranger Stop Orlando. I think they're gonna change the name to Ranger Stop and Pop, like pop culture. So I that's what I understand it to be. Some
Rangers
lady
stop and pop and lock.
Yeah, close to it. Some lady that's going to be a guest there is like that wrote on her post, "Hey, this is going to be the last one in Orlando, so come check me out." So
wow.
I don't know if she meant that, whether that was a typo, whether she meant this is the last one
Time to find
I'll
that
go
out.
to.
Yeah.
So when I'm there, I'm gonna sweet talk some people
Yeah.
and be like, "Yo, what
There's
the
a
fuck's going on?"
possibility.
I'll tell you right now, if I can do
They'll come
what I
back.
want to do, I will be willing to go to Atlanta because I think Atlanta's a lot
it's a
bigger.
big one, yeah.
Because now I got everyone from the Northeast. I can knock on the door of the Midwest, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee,
Yeah.
Texas. I mean, people fly in
Yeah.
for this fucking thing.
Yep.
This ain't
And Atlanta's a little more centrally located than Orlando. Yeah.
so
Yeah, the only thing
I'll
works out
make
for
that drive.
Orlando is a lot of people come to Orlando. The thing is, like, a lot of, and it's going to happen. Bubble's going to burst. We talked about this for the big cons and stuff like that. And MegaCon owns Orlando. And the thing is, MegaCon's such a big, again, if you're coming from Alabama, Mississippi, North Dakota, Texas, if you're coming from these to come to MegaCon, which is a
Yeah.
big one. And you're doing that to make it because that's why Orlando's the Orlando trip.
Yeah.
You go for a whole week. You go to the con on the weekend, and then Monday, Tuesday, Disney, Universal Studios, all that. So if you already did it for MegaCon, odds are like probably 80% of the people who went to MegaCon out of state this year in I think it was March this year, they're not coming back to Ranger Stop in Orlando.
Fucking better.
I'm just you're gonna have different people who are picking
Yeah,
different
no,
ones
no, yeah.
because your schedule changes.
Right.
And again, if you're a Power Ranger heavy person, there's maybe 2 or 3 of them at MegaCon.
Yeah,
This
you're
is
definitely going to the
all of
Ranger
them.
Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Ranger Stop has other people besides Power Rangers.
Yes.
But if you're a Power Ranger fan, this is where you want to go. You go to this.
It's heavy. It's like 99% Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles.
Exactly. So that's my point is that. So people who went to MegaCon went because they went for something more specific, or that's what lined up with your schedule or whatnot. But then the Power Ranger fans, they're going to go to this.
Got it.
And that's the difference between Atlanta is easier to get to, but once you get to Atlanta, there isn't Disney World. There isn't. So if you're the adult and you're the collector and things like that, Atlanta's fantastic. If you're the family, you've been able to pass this down to your kids and they're into it now and all that. You go to the Orlando one because what are you going to do for a week? You know what I mean? If you're going to spend that money and fly from wherever you're flying,
You might as well
do Disney and Universal Studios.
Let's
and all
rank
of
up that
stuff.
debt, baby.
Exactly, for the week. So that's the whole thing. So maybe if it is their last, it could be that. They just don't want to compete because now you technically compete for the year. It's no longer competing for the weekend or competing for the month. When you're the big events, SuperCon, MegaCon, DragonCon, you're competing for the year. Not everyone has the income to do 5, 6 majors. Different when you're a vendor.
Right.
And, that's you're doing it as a livelihood or as a side business or whatever. So it makes sense. You're writing it off. It's an investment. You're making money while you're there. You're kind of hopefully getting away for an hour or two to go enjoy and get some signatures, whatever. But for the most part, you're working. Where if you're going for the leisure, it's a lot of income if you have a different livelihood, a different job, and to choose 2, 3, 4. So you probably like, I'll go to MegaCon this year, DragonCon next year, SuperCon that year. So Florida, we're pretty lucky that we have a lot of bigs in the same state. Yeah. But that might start to change considering there's so many of them. The price is going up so much on a lot of them that people might just start picking and choosing. I'm doing this one this year, not this one, and we'll see how it goes. And hopefully not anytime soon. But overall, that's what I'm saying. There could be some validity to that mentality that it might be their last in Orlando, and they go, well, Atlanta's a little less tapped in, or their pricing. It could be the convention center Orlando is more expensive. Who knows?
Hopefully they just come back. That's all I care about.
If they do, it's not a forever thing. Again, there's generation upon generation of Power Rangers. There's a new show, and there'll be a new show after that.
Yeah.
They'll be back in Orlando. If someone else picks up the mantle, and it won't be called Ranger Stop, it'll be called
I don't give a shit what they call it. Yeah,
exactly.
just
Ranger Place, Ranger Ranger Mecca,
I
Ranger.
don't give a shit. Just come back.
Yeah,
baby.
there's no way. They got a thing going. They have a big, it's like Star Wars conventions and stuff like that. Just a lot of people go for the little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But if you're tapped in like a community, like Star Trek is pretty much, for the most part, still does Star
think so,
Trek
yes.
conventions. You know, there still be at other things, but they at sea at different. They still do just Star Trek because they have a long history fan base, and a lot of franchises do.
Yeah.
Just again, all of them try to tap in onto a little bit of everything
Yep.
to cover their financial bases.
Yep.
But yeah, I think the Power Rangers they'll do all right, and I'll be surprised. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so if you're listening to this, you're watching this after you tune out, and you're in the Orlando area, you can get to the Orlando area, enjoy Ranger Stop, take full advantage and visit Anthony and say, hey, what's up? I like you
Fam
on
Collectibles.
Comics, Collectibles, and Cafecitos.
Just look for the shirt.
There you go. It's a smiling face right there in the mug.
We
Your
actually
hat.
changed the logo to be a Thunderbolt, like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh,
for the
nice.
event.
Temporarily for the event. Nice. I
we
like
got
that. So
custom
it's
shirts and shit.
an exclusive shirt for the event.
Yeah.
Or exclusive till they run out.
Till they run out.
Then it'll be at the next event.
Yes.
This is
And I'll be like, well,
So
I
help
just
us
like Power
celebrate.
Rangers.
So thank you for joining us. That was another episode of Comics, Collectibles, and Cafecitos. Please like, share, all that good stuff. Fanatically Correct at linktree or .com to get all the audios of our previous episodes and the audios of these episodes as well. And of course, the YouTube channel at Fam Collectibles. Like, share, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Omega saying peace.
Later.
And there you have it, folks. This has been Comics, Collectibles, and Cafecito. You crazy kids.
Obey all robots.